Now, the U.S. and South Korea have reached an agreement under which Seoul accepts to increase its funding for U.S. military troops stationed in that country. The 6-year deal replaces a similar accord which expired in 2019. Under the previous deal, Seoul had been paying Washington some $920 million annually. Both sides have avoided specifying the agreed amount for the new deal. Seoul has been paying the U.S. for its troop presence since early 1990s. The two nations have also started their 9-day annual military exercise. Some 28,500 American troops are stationed in the country to defend it against possible threats from its nuclear-armed neighbor, North Korea. Well, let's discuss that from Hong Kong. I'm joined by Fabrizio Goldoni, who's an analyst and commentator. Good to have you with us, Fabrizio. How do you look at this? Why should South Korea pay so much money to the U.S.? Can you buy security? I mean, isn't it better for the two countries to sit down at the negotiating table instead of doing this?
Yeah, basically, yeah, it should be better, say, to negotiate. But the point is this one, this approach that the United States has with South Korea for the base that they have. We are talking about, as you said before, 28,000 American troops located there. Basically is the same approach that is used with the NATO. Okay, so I would like to expand a little bit the concept. Sure. The point is the previous agreement with South Korea was $920 million. Trump, we know that he asked for something about $5 billion. Okay, we don't know which agreement now they reach. Basically, we don't know what is the amount that they finally reach. But we have to consider that in any case, South Korea military annual budget is 48 billion US dollar. Mm-hmm. And the data that is quite impressive for me, that this year has increased 7% on the last year. Consider this year we have the COVID-19 and we have a lot of problems on GDP. So an increase of this is quite important, actually.
Mm-hmm. And Fabrizio, could you tell me how you would predict what's going on between the two Koreas? Do you see any prospect for peace? Because Mr. Trump took a lot of credit and said we have done a great deal of job, but nothing in practice.
Yeah, in practice is this one, that in 2018, when there was the meeting of Singapore, many people they have been say optimistic, okay, because at least the two leaders they met for the first time, okay. It was one side Trump, the other side Kim Jong-un, and okay. But immediately after 1 year, so February of Hanoi 2009, basically the deal collapsed, because the United States was expecting that the leader of North Korea arrived to Hanoi with a plan of cutting the nuclear program or basically completely denuclearize the peninsula. Mm-hmm. So I think that besides the point that they meet each other, the best thing is to keep the dialogue and dialogue open. And in my opinion, very important point is avoid any provocation. Now, in these days, we have a drill, We have a drill that lasts
Well, unfortunately, we lost that contact from Hong Kong. We had Fabrizio Goldoni, analyst and commentator.